promoting enmity between religious and social groups. The number of cases has doubled between 2021 and 2023. And this rise didn't happen in silence. It happened alongside political speeches, public rallies, and calculated dog whistles. When hate goes unpunished, it spreads. When it spreads, minorities pay the price. Second, hate is no longer whispered. It has become a broadcast. So our country has documented more than 1,300 hate speeches in a single year. When such volume of hate fills public space, the government refuses to act decisively, swiftly, then the message is clear, sir. Intimidation is tolerated and silence is the union's policy. Third, the education empowerment scheme under the Ministry of Minority Affairs has just used 8% of its total funds, while the 35% of the ministry's allocation, 27% under tribal affairs, and 28% under scheduled tribes remain unutilized. Sir, even schemes like a scholarship like Maulana Azad National Fellowship, Pre-Metric Scholarship, and Paro Pradesh have been hollowed out. So now I come to 777, which is the triple power grab. Over the last decade, the government has treated institutions as the government's own personal property. So the parliament is silenced, debates are curtailed, scrutiny is abundant, and even the deputy speaker's post is kept vacant because dissent is inconvenient. So investigating agencies no longer investigate, they intimidate, chasing the opposition with raids and arrests. While convictions become negligible, as independent institutions weakened, public institutions are put on the auction block. Air India, BPCL, the shipping corporation, built by generation with public money, are being sold like distressed assets, hastily, without any sort of accountability. So this is described as reform, but it is actually a managed handover. When institutions are bent to serve power and national assets are reduced to headlines and handover, the constitution is not broken in protest, it's torn apart. Sir, I come from an India where the Honorable Prime Minister says, na khaunga, na khane dunga. And I also come from an India where questioning the washing machine that gave reprieve to 23 of the 25 leaders who joined the BJP makes you the most corrupt one. So now I come to triple jumla on finances. Agriculture. So the budget waxes eloquent about coconut, cocoa, cashew, sandalwood, fisheries and AI advisories, but remains silent on MSP assurances, procurement expansion. There is no price stabilization fund, no diesel support, no fertilizer relief, and no electrical subsidy. This is diversification without security, and it leaves the majority of Indian farmers, trapped in distress. Sir, even the PM Kisan scheme has been stuck at 6,000 rupees since December 2018. Despite soaring input costs and record diesel prices, sir, in actual, if we see, real terms, farmers are earning less each year. A rupee in 2018 is not a rupee in 2026. Sir, if I speak of healthcare, the government spends less than 0.26% of the GDP. And they might have questions on my source of information. If the need be, I will place all the sources before the table by 8 p.m. tonight. The government spends 0.26% of GDP on public health even today. The national health policy promised 2.5% of GDP. What we get instead is postponement, excuses, and under-allocation. In a country where illness is still the fastest road to poverty, this budget chooses flyover over first aid, optics over oxygen, and announcement over actual care. So if I speak of infrastructure, the smart city mission promised transformation in 100 cities with over 2 lakh crore. Yet a decade later, what we have is half-dug roads and half-built homes. Instead of finishing the job, this budget announces new economic regions. Sir, under the Jal Jeevan mission, funds were cut by 74%. forcing states to pick up the bill. In higher education, 55,000 crore is spent on management, but 2.68 crore on infrastructure, not even enough to build a world-class lab. So now I come to my 999, the triple truth trap. And what I mean by truth is, the accountability on the government, sir, primarily rests on three pillars. One is the RTI Act. But when I speak of transparency, it diluted the RTI Act by expanding personal information as a ground for refusal. Sir, if you speak of PM cares, the PMO claims it lies outside the purview of RTI because it's a private fund. A fund that is created by public authority in a public office with the money of the people is being claimed as a private fund. There's no accountability. Sir, NFHS and NCRB data has been frozen because welfare still runs on census 2011. Sir, if I am to summarize the budget from the perspective of three stalwarts, B.R. Ambedkar warned us. What is the moral verdict of the budget? If we were to look at it from the perspective of Dr. Ambedkar, Gandhi ji, or Swami Vivekananda, Dr. Ambedkar warned us that democracy is not just institutions. It is a constitutional morality. Gandhi ji taught us economics divorced from ethics is violence. Swami Vivekananda reminded us that a nation cannot rise by crushing the weakest. Well, this budget violates all three. In today's India, sir, tax does not follow income. Tax follows life. आज के भारत में टैक्स कमाई के पीछे नहीं, जिंदगी के पीछे है, चलता है सर. I will give you a small example. A baby is born, his milk and diapers are taxed. He grows, his education is taxed. He studies, his books, pencil and mobile data are taxed. He starts earning, his income is taxed. He saves for future, his savings are taxed. He spends to survive, his survival is taxed. He goes to work, his fuel is taxed. He falls sick, his illness is taxed. He grows old, pension and healthcare are also taxed. And Honorable Speaker, even after his death, the family still pays tax. बच्चा पैदा होता है, दूध और डाइपर पर टैक्स, पढ़ाई शुरू होती है, शिक्षा पर टैक्स, किताबें, नोटबुक, पेन, पेंसिल, मोबाइल डेटा, सब पर टैक्स. कमाई शुरू होता है, इनकम पर टैक्स. सर, बचत करता है, बचत के ऊपर टैक्स. जीने के लिए खर्च करता है, खर्च पे टैक्स. काम पर जाता है, पेट्रोल डीजल पर टैक्स. बीमार पड़ता है, इलाज और दवाई पर टैक्स. बुढ़ापा आता है, पेंशन और इलाज पे टैक्स. और मौत के बाद भी सर, शोक सभा में अगरबत्ती जलाने के लिए भी परिवार को टैक्स देना पड़ता है. This summarizes the budget. Sir, I am addressing the chair. I'm sure the finance minister will have a reply ready. When she is given the opportunity to speak, she can quote me, and if I am misleading the house, she can take my name and then place her arguments. Sir, from a baby's first milk to a citizen's final farewell, this government taxes life at every step. जन्म से लेके अंतिम संस्कार तक हर कदम पर टैक्स. ये रिफॉर्म नहीं सर, ये लाइफ टाइम टैक्स ट्रैप है. सर, नाउ आई कम टू 10. मेरा लास्ट ट्रिपल. मैंने 9 ट्रिपल का बात किया, अब 10वां कर रहा हूं. सर, आई विल एंड विथ 3 dates, 3 moments of history: 2016, 2021 and 2024. 3 elections, 3 verdicts, 3 decisive defeats for the BJP in West Bengal. Yes. And after this triple defeat, a 4th one is no longer a warning. It is approaching. Sir, मैं ज़्यादा घुमाऊंगा नहीं. Let me come straight. Sir, the government want to punish Bengal. Let them proceed. We won't bow. You want to freeze our funds? We will persist. मैं क्यों कह रहा हूं persist? क्योंकि पीएम आवास से लेके, सड़क से लेके, मनरेगा से लेके सारे पैसे बंगाल के पिछले 5 साल से ये सरकार ने रोक के रखा है. प्रधानमंत्री ने आत्मनिर्भर भारत की बात किया है. हम स्वनिर्भर बंगाल क्या होता है काम करके दिखाया है. you want to punish Bengal? Proceed, we won't bow. You want to freeze our funds? We will persist. You want to profile and persecute our youth? We will protect them. You want to starve our schemes? We will sustain our people. Bengal's spine was not ever bent by surrender, nor softened by sermons of hate. It is forged in struggle, tempered in sacrifice, and is not for sale. Go ahead, send your audits. We will answer them. Unleash your agencies. We will confront them. Delay our clearances. We will chronicle every day stolen. Every stolen day. But remember this. Files can be frozen. Funds can be stalled. Voices can be suppressed. But memories can't be erased. And when the people rise, and the ballot breaks the silence, we will settle the final account. You will wear the mask of the union, we will raise the mirror of the people. And when truth looks back, power will bend and we'll have to blink first. So this reminds me again that I come from an India that celebrates labor as a backbone of the economy. The hands that build our highways, factories, ports, cities, this parliament. But I also represent an India where that very labor, when it travels from Bengal, is no longer seen as a labor, he's seen as a suspect. Yeah. Punished for the language he speaks. I come from an India where Northeast is proudly called Ashtalakshmi. And I also come from an India where Manipur bled for 864 days and the Prime Minister found no time to visit. I come from an India that derives its vocabulary from Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. And I also come from an India where Vidyasagar's bust was vandalized by ruling party at the center. I come from an India where we worship Ma Durga as Supreme Shakti. And I also come from an India where Ma Durga's ancestry is questioned by BJP leaders. So I really come from two India. And honestly, I'm tired of explaining this house which India I belong to. Because the truth are, they both exist. And until and unless we acknowledge the second one exists, we will never be able to be the first one we claim to be. So budgets can divide, politics can polarize, power can pretend, but there's something deeper than budgets, older than governments, and stronger than fear, which is the moral imagination of the people. When institutions weaken and language loses its faith, it is our literature, our culture, our shared memory that rises to remind the nation of who it is and who it must never cease to be. So I finally return to the Constitution. When you open the Constitution, it opens with the words, "We, the people of India." It's not a ceremonial phrase. It's a declaration of sovereignty. It's a reminder that power flows upward from the people, not the other way down. That governments may rule, but people remain the supreme. That sentence is not meant to be recited, it is meant to be lived. And as long as people remember it, no fear can last, no injustice can endure, and no republic can ever truly be taken away. And thus today, I do not end with slogans. I end with conscience, and I end with voice of Bengal. এই মৃত্যু উপত্যকা আমার দেশ না, এই জল্লাদের উল্লাস মঞ্চ আমার দেশ না, এই বিস্তীর্ণ শ্মশান আমার দেশ না, এই রক্তস্নাত কসাইখানা আমার দেশ না। আমি আমার দেশকে ফিরে কেড়ে নেব। জয় হিন্দ, জয় বাংলা।
Thank you. Next speaker, Sri T.R. Baluji.
Honorable Chairman, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to discuss on the subject matter of budget estimate 26-27. First of all, I would like to congratulate Madam Nirmala Sitharamanji for having brought the budget estimates for the consecutive 9th time. next to Mr. Chidambaram, who has also done the same thing in the same parliament. Sir, Finance Minister claims she aims at developed India by 2047. India has programmed like artificial intelligence, biopharma, semiconductors, critical minerals, and they are given a lot of priority and importance. But the question is, how efficiently Madam Nirmala ji is going to implement them with a sustained push. So strategy of the government is said to be reducing revenue expenditure and increasing capital expenditure. It is also claimed that revenue expenditure has fallen by 11% in the last 10 years. That is from 88% in 2014-15 to 77% 26-27. It is also stated that the reduction of the revenue expenditure included 7% of subsidies. But what is the reality? Well, usual practice is reduction of subsidies in the budget is made, and in the next 6 months we come up with the additional demands for subsidies through supplementary demands. That is what I have also mentioned in the last supplementary demands in 25-26. Within 6 months, things became haywire. Now at the end of the current fiscal year, you are saying that the revenue receipts shortfall is around 78,086 crores. Decrease in revenue expenditure is 1,05,503 crores. The fall in capital expenditure is 1,44,376 crores. It's a very huge fall. It gives no hope of credibility. Budget 26-27. Expenditure estimated is 53.43 lakhs crores. Expenditure proposed in 25-26 was 50.65 lakhs crores. Now FM is asking 3 lakh crores more in upcoming fiscal year. Usually the government used to announce big schemes in the budget, but even after several months, no progress is the result. Last year, 15th August, Employment Linked Incentive, ELI, scheme was announced, and the incentive to labor and industry to provide additional 3.5 lakhs crores, 5 crores jobs, with the outlay of 99,446 crores was launched, but the scheme has not taken off. Another non-starter is Research and Development Innovation, RDI scheme, announced with the effect from 1/7/25 and was said to be implemented with a corpus of 1 lakh crore, and provision of 20,000 crores was made in 25-26 budget. But no progress has been achieved in this effort. Also, this was also properly responded by the Honorable Minister during his reply in the Lok Sabha. Coconut production in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is the second largest coconut production state. 12 lakh acres are under cocoa cultivation next to paddy. Besides Pollachi, Pattukottai, Tiruchi, Dindigul and others, southern districts are major coconut producing districts. It has got high export potential to an extent of 3,500 crores per year. The production has fallen because of the root diseases, but Government of India has not taken care and the root diseases still remain. The economic survey pointed out that the agricultural growth has slowed down to 3.5% in 25-26 from 4.4%, nearly 1.1% fall. The tariff and trade agreement unilaterally announced by USA bound to open floodgates to import of agricultural products into India. This will be disastrous for our farmers and farm sector. The finance minister said in her speech that rich value crops like coconut, cocoa, sandalwood, cashews, etc. will be given special support. But the allocation was just 350 crores only. The farmers' organization are condemning this announcement of government is nothing but a naive rhetoric. Banana is another crop that requires special attention and support from Government of India. Tamil Nadu is number one in banana cultivation and exports around 4,000 crores every year. Government of India should come forward to give special intensive to banana cultivation to boost exports. Union government has been giving stepmotherly treatment to Tamil Nadu, and there has been no special scheme or financial allocation so far. Even the prestigious projects like Saith Samuddram, which were implemented by UPA, has been shelved on political grounds. UPA government had gifted 69 large projects and very important projects in all sectors during 2004 and 2014. The last of the schemes included the Tamil Sambori, Chennai port to Madurai elevated bridge of 21 kilometers, abolition of Sansad to protect textile industry, new railway station, new Narvane division at Salem, Thiruvarur Central University, IEM at Trichy, Indian Maritime University at Chennai, etc. On the contrary, it lasts 12 years. For the past 12 years, one project has come, that is AIMS Madurai. Not yet taken up. AIMS Madurai is still under the ground. It has not yet been taken up. Tamil Nadu CM had also stated during UPA, Tamil Nadu was allotted 11% of plan expenditure, and now Tamil Nadu is given zero only. Government of India is not funding Metro Rail Project number 2, Samagra Shiksha Fund to the tune of 3,548 crores, not yet released. Madurai and Coimbatore Metro, which has been provided 21,000 crores, and project submitted to the Central Union Government has not given approval. But at the same time, small towns like Agra, Bhubaneswar, Navi Mumbai, and Indore have been permitted. Jal Jeevan Fund rupees 3,112 crores had not been released. Railway schemes 289.73 crores to Thiruvananthapuram, Kanyakumari not released so far for the land acquisition. Further, to purchase 931 hectares of land, funds have not been provided. CM Tamil Nadu has also urged that the devolution from the divisible pool from taxes should be increased to 50%, but it has fallen on deaf ears of the union government, and at present 41% is retained. I also urge Government of India that cess and other taxes which are not being shared with the state should be abolished immediately, or they should be brought under the divisible pool. Such anti-federal attitude and exploitation must be ended. What happened to the promises made by the Honorable Prime Minister of India? 2 lakhs jobs per year. What has happened? 15 lakhs per family. What has happened? Nobody. It's all dumbfounded. For this question, always for the past 10 years, Government of India, the people of Government of India representing the Government of India, they are keeping lukewarm position only. Much talked about MSP not implemented. Double the agriculture income not implemented. And Dr. Swaminathan's recommendations have become only slogans to every election. People of the industry, business, the middle class, and even the ordinary men on the street have expressed dissatisfaction and said your budget is nothing but the rhetoric of a sloganeering government with little use to the common mass. Before I conclude, how are you going to arrest the jet speed depreciation of rupee against US dollar. It is already around 92 per dollar. Prime Minister has lauded this budget as a historic. There is proverb in Tamil, Kakaki Tanpunjam Pungunji. It means to a crow, its offspring is golden. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, Sri B. Nagaraju.
Respected Speaker, sir, మన గౌరవనీయ ప్రధానమంత్రి నరేంద్ర మోడీ గారి యొక్క దూరదృష్టి నాయకత్వాన్ని ప్రశంసిస్తూ 2026-2027 ఆర్థిక సంవత్సరానికి ముందు చూపుతో మరియు ఆర్థిక క్రమశిక్షణతో కూడినటువంటి కేంద్ర బడ్జెట్ను సమర్పించినటువంటి గౌరవనీయులైన ఆర్థిక మంత్రి నిర్మలా సీతారామన్ గారిని అభినందిస్తూ వికసిత్ భారత్ లక్ష్యంగా ఈ ఆర్థిక సంవత్సరపు బడ్జెట్ను 3 కర్తవ్యాల ఆధారంగా రూపుదిద్దుకుంది అధ్యక్ష. అందులో భాగంగా మొదటి అంశం వచ్చేసి ఆర్థిక వృద్ధిని వేగవంతం చేయడం, రెండవ అంశం వచ్చేసి సామర్థ్యాన్ని పెంపొందించడం, మూడవ అంశం సమగ్రాభివృద్ధిని నిర్ధారించడం. ఈ 3 అంశాల ఆధారంగా ఇది స్పష్టమైన మ్యాక్రో ఆర్థిక దిశను నిర్దేశిస్తూ ఉంది అధ్యక్ష. ఇకపోతే ఈ బడ్జెట్లో ముఖ్యంగా అధ్యక్ష నాన్ డెబిట్ రిసిప్ట్స్ కోసం 36.5 లక్షల కోట్ల రూపాయలను మరియు మొత్తం వ్యయంను 53.5 lakhs కోట్లను అంచనా వేయబడింది అధ్యక్ష. మూలధన వ్యయం వచ్చేసి 12.2 లక్షల కోట్లకు పెంచబడింది అధ్యక్ష, ఎన్నడూ లేని విధంగా. అంతేగాక ఇది వచ్చేసి ముఖ్యంగా ఈ బడ్జెట్లో మౌలిక వసతుల మరియు ఆధారిత వృద్ధికి ప్రభుత్వం యొక్క కట్టుబాటును చూపిస్తూ ఉంది అధ్యక్ష. ఇకపోతే ఆర్థిక లోటు వచ్చేసి జీడిపిలో 4.3% తగ్గించబడింది. రుణం మరియు జీడిపి నిష్పత్తి 55.6%కి తగ్గేలా అంచనా వేయబడింది అధ్యక్ష. ఈ సంఖ్యలన్నవి అభివృద్ధి మరియు ఆర్థిక క్రమశిక్షణ మధ్య సమతుల్యతను ప్రతిబింబిస్తూ ఉన్నాయి అధ్యక్ష. ఇకపోతే అధ్యక్ష ప్రతిపక్షాలు ఇంతసేపు వారి యొక్క స్పీచ్లో ఎంతసేపు ఉన్నా కూడా గవర్నమెంట్ మీద నిందలు మోపుతూ బడ్జెట్ మీద ఇది చేస్తామన్నది సరికాదు అధ్యక్ష. ఎందుకంటే భారత్ అనేది తయారీ రంగంలో మేక్ ఇన్ ఇండియాలో ఎస్పెషల్లీ వ్యూహాత్మక రంగాలకు పెద్దపీట వేయబడింది అధ్యక్ష. అందులో భాగంగా బయోఫార్మా శక్తి కోసం 10,000 కోట్ల రూపాయలను మరియు ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్ భాగాల తయారీకి 40,000 కోట్ల రూపాయలను, కార్బన్ క్యాప్చర్ సాంకేతికలకు 20,000 కోట్ల రూపాయలను మరియు ఛాంపియన్ ఎస్ఎంఈల కింద 10,000 కోట్ల రూపాయల నిధిని ఈ బడ్జెట్లో ఏర్పాటు చేశారు అధ్యక్ష. ఇకపోతే అధ్యక్ష ఇప్పుడున్నటువంటి ఆధునిక యుగంలో పాశ్చాత్య దేశాలతో పోటీ పడుతూ టెక్నాలజీని ఇప్పుడున్నటువంటి ప్రజలకు అవసరాల కోసం ఏ రోజుకి ఆ రోజు పోటీ పడుతూ ఈ బడ్జెట్లో 7 హైస్పీడ్ రైలు కారిడార్లను ప్రతిపాదించబడ్డాయి అధ్యక్ష. అంతేగాక 20 జాతీయ జల మార్గాలు అభివృద్ధి చేయబడుతున్నాయి అధ్యక్ష. మూలధన వ్యయం కింద చరిత్రాత్మక స్థాయిలో ఎన్నడూ లేని విధంగా ఉపయోగిస్తూ ఉన్నారు అధ్యక్ష. ఇకపోతే ఇది సాధారణ బడ్జెట్ కాదు అధ్యక్ష, ఇది నిర్మాణాత్మక సంస్కరణల బడ్జెట్గా భావిస్తున్నాను అధ్యక్ష. సరఫరా గొలుసులను మరియు బలోపేతం చేయడమే కాకుండా ఎగుమతులను పెంపొందించడం మరియు సూక్ష్మ మరియు మధ్య తరహా పరిశ్రమలను ప్రోత్సహించడంలో భాగంగా రైతులకు మద్దతు ధర ఇవ్వడంలో మరియు భారతదేశాన్ని గ్లోబల్ పోటీలో ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్లడంలో భాగంగా ముఖ్య ఉద్దేశంగా ఈ బడ్జెట్ను రూపొందించారని తెలియజేస్తా ఉన్నాను అధ్యక్ష. ఇప్పుడు ముఖ్యంగా మా ఆంధ్ర రాష్ట్రానికి ఈ బడ్జెట్ ఆంధ్ర రాష్ట్రానికి ఎలా ప్రయోజనం చేకూర్చిందో ప్రత్యేకంగా 2 విషయాల్లో ప్రస్తావించదలుచుకున్నాను అధ్యక్ష. 16వ ఆర్థిక సంఘం సిఫార్సుల మేరకు ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ రాష్ట్రానికి 64,320 కోట్ల రూపాయలను కేటాయించబడ్డాయి అధ్యక్ష. విభజిత ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్లో రాష్ట్ర వాటా 4.21%గా పెరిగింది. ఇది రాష్ట్ర అభివృద్ధి అవసరాలను గుర్తించిన నిర్ణయంగా భావిస్తున్నాం అధ్యక్ష. ఎందుకంటే ఈ విషయంలో మేము గౌరవ నిర్మలా సీతారామన్ మేడం గారికి మరొకసారి ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేస్తున్నాం అధ్యక్ష. ఎందుకంటే ఈ విషయంలో డెడికేటెడ్ రేర్ ఎర్త్ పర్మనెంట్ మ్యాగ్నెట్ కారిడార్ల ప్రకటన మరియు ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్కు చారిత్రాత్మక అవకాశం కల్పించినటువంటి అవకాశం మరియు ఖనిజ సంపద ఉన్నటువంటి రాష్ట్రంగా మేము తవ్వకాల దశను దాటి విలువ ఆధారిత పరిశ్రమల వైపు అడుగులు వేస్తూ ప్రాసెసింగ్ మరియు పరిశోధన ఆధునిక తయారీ వైపు ముందుకు సాగుతున్న విధంగా పనిచేస్తా ఉంది అధ్యక్ష. ఈ బడ్జెట్ అన్నది ఏపీలో వచ్చేసి అధ్యక్ష మాకు తీర ప్రాంతం అనేది సుదీర్ఘంగా ఉంది అధ్యక్ష. అందులో భాగంగా మత్స్య మరియు ఎగుమతులకు క్లస్టర్లకు మద్దతు ఎంతో ప్రయోజనం చేకూర్చే విధంగా ఈ బడ్జెట్ రూపొందించారు అధ్యక్ష. అంతేగాక డ్యూటీ ఫ్రీ దిగుమతుల పరిమితిని 1% నుంచి 3% వరకు పెంచడం వలన వ్యయం భారం తగ్గుతుంది అధ్యక్ష. అందులో భాగంగా భారతదేశ ఈజెడ్లో చేపల వేటకు ఇచ్చినటువంటి మద్దతు మా మత్స్యకారులకు ఆదాయం పెంపుకు దోహదపడుతోంది అధ్యక్ష. ఇకపోతే అధ్యక్ష, ట్రైబల్ ఏరియాలో భాగంగా అరకులోయలో సస్టైనబుల్ మౌంటైన్ ట్రైల్స్ను మరియు పులికాట్ సరస్సు యొక్క పరిసరాల్లో ఈ పక్షి వీక్షణ మార్గాలను ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్కు పర్యావరణ పరంగా పర్యాటక పరంగా కేంద్రంగా నిలబడుతున్నాయి అధ్యక్ష. ఇవి కాక ఉపాధి అవకాశాలను పెంచడమే కాకుండా గిరిజన ప్రాంతాలకు మద్దతు ఇస్తూ ఉన్నట్టుగా ఈ బడ్జెట్లో కేటాయించారు అధ్యక్ష. ఇకపోతే ముఖ్యంగా అధ్యక్ష, 600 కోట్లతో నైపుణ్య మరియు రూపాంతర పైలట్ కార్యక్రమంలో భాగంగా ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ ఎంపిక చేయడం చాలా గర్వంగా ఉంది అధ్యక్ష. ఎందుకంటే యువతకు పెద్ద అవకాశంగా మారుతా ఉంది అధ్యక్ష. ఇది మా యువత ఉద్యోగార్థులనే కాకుండా ఉద్యోగ సృష్టికర్తలుగా మార్చే దిశగా ఇది సహాయపడుతుందని తెలియజేస్తా ఉన్నాను అధ్యక్ష. ఇకపోతే అధ్యక్ష, మా ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్కు ముఖ్యంగా ఈ బుల్లెట్ ట్రైన్లో భాగంగా హైదరాబాద్ టు చెన్నై టు బెంగళూరు ఈ హైస్పీడ్ కారిడార్ అనేటివి మా రాష్ట్రానికి చాలా చాలా ఉపయోగంగా ఉన్నాయి అధ్యక్ష. ఎందుకంటే ఈ హైదరాబాద్ టు చెన్నై అనే కార్యక్రమంలో భాగంగా మా అమరావతి అనేది టచ్ అవుతుంది అధ్యక్ష. ముఖ్యంగా ఈ బెంగళూరు టు హైదరాబాద్ అనే కార్యక్రమంలో మా సొంత పార్లమెంట్ అనేటువంటి కర్నూలు ముఖ్యంగా ఉంది కాబట్టి చాలా చాలా గర్వంగా ఉంది అధ్యక్ష. అంతేగాక ముఖ్యంగా ఈ బడ్జెట్లో అధ్యక్ష మాకు ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ జీవనాధారమైనటువంటి పోలవరం జీవనాడు లాంటిది అధ్యక్ష. అది 2027 కల్లా కంప్లీట్ చేయాలని కృతనిశ్చయంతో ఉన్నటువంటి ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ ప్రభుత్వానికి ఈ జలవనరుల శాఖకు ముఖ్యంగా అత్యధికంగా నిధులు కేటాయించేందుకు చాలా చాలా మరొకసారి ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేస్తా ఉన్నాను అధ్యక్ష. అంతేగాక అమరావతి నిర్మాణం అనేది మాకు స్టేట్ క్యాపిటల్ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ అధ్యక్ష. ఆ స్టేట్ క్యాపిటల్ నిర్మాణంలో భాగంగా అర్బన్ డెవలప్మెంట్ అథారిటీకి పట్టణాభివృద్ధి శాఖ కూడా నిధులు పుష్కలంగా కేటాయించినందుకు నిర్మలా సీతారామన్ మేడం గారికి మరొకసారి ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేస్తా ఉన్నాను అధ్యక్ష. అంతేగాక ఈ బడ్జెట్ అనేది ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ను భారతదేశ అభివృద్ధి ప్రయాణంలో వ్యూహాత్మక భాగస్వామిగా గుర్తించింది అధ్యక్ష మా స్టేట్ను. ఇకపోతే అధ్యక్ష, మా ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ ముఖ్యమంత్రి వర్యులైనటువంటి గౌరవనీయ నారా చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారి యొక్క దూరదృష్టి నాయకత్వంలో ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్కు ఈ కేటాయింపులు అన్నటివి వేగవంతమైన అభివృద్ధిగా మార్చగలవు. ఈ పెట్టుబడులను ముఖ్యంగా పరిశ్రమలకు మరియు ఏపీ యొక్క భవిష్యత్తును మార్చాలని చెప్పేసి భావిస్తున్నాము అధ్యక్ష. ఇకపోతే అధ్యక్ష, ఫైనల్గా ఇప్పుడు నా నియోజకవర్గం కర్నూలు పార్లమెంట్ గురించి 2 విషయాలు తెలియజేయాలని తెలుసు అధ్యక్ష. ముఖ్యంగా ఈ బడ్జెట్లో నా కర్నూలు పార్లమెంటుకు హైదరాబాద్ టు బెంగళూరు కారిడార్లో భాగంగా కర్నూలు పార్లమెంట్ అనేది మధ్య ప్రాంతంలో వస్తుంది అధ్యక్ష. మాకు చాలా సునాయాసంగా 2 రాష్ట్రాల మధ్యన 2 మెట్రోపాలిటన్ సిటీస్ మధ్యన మా కర్నూలు పార్లమెంటుకు ఈ బుల్లెట్ ట్రైన్ వస్తున్నందుకు చాలా చాలా గర్వంగా ఉంది అధ్యక్ష. అంతేగాక ఈ రోడ్ మినిస్ట్రీలో భాగంగా ఈ రోడ్ మినిస్ట్రీకి అత్యధికంగా డబ్బులు కేటాయింపులు జరిగినాయి అధ్యక్ష ఈ బడ్జెట్లో. అందులో భాగంగా మా కర్నూలు బళ్ళారి నేషనల్ హైవే వేయాలని చెప్పేసి కోరుకుంటున్నాను అధ్యక్ష. అంతేగాక ముఖ్యంగా అధ్యక్ష, గత బడ్జెట్లో మా కర్నూలు ప్రాంతంలో ఓర్వకల్కు ఇండస్ట్రియల్ లోడ్ ఇచ్చినటువంటి ఘనత కూడా ఎన్డీఏ కూటమి అధ్యక్ష. అందులో భాగంగా మాకు పూర్వోదయ స్కీమ్ కింద ఆ ఓర్వకల్ హబ్లో ఇంటిగ్రేటెడ్ స్టీల్ హబ్స్ ఏర్పాటు చేయాలని చెప్పేసి కోరుకుంటున్నాం అధ్యక్ష. ఎందుకంటే మా అంతా వెనుకబడిన ప్రాంతం అధ్యక్ష. ఈ పూర్వోదయ స్కీమ్లో భాగంగా మంత్రాలయం రైల్వే కనెక్టివిటీ కూడా వేయాలని చెప్పేసి ఆశిస్తున్నాం అధ్యక్ష. అంతేగాక ముఖ్యంగా అధ్యక్ష, అటల్ భుజన్ యోజన కింద, ఎందుకంటే మా రాయలసీమ ప్రాంతం అంతా చాలా డ్రాట్ ఏరియా, ఆ ప్రాంతంలో గ్రౌండ్ వాటర్ డెవలప్ చేయాలంటే అటల్ భుజన్ యోజన పథకం కింద సెలెక్టెడ్ కాబట్టి మా జిల్లాకు ప్రత్యేకంగా నిధులు కేటాయించాలని చెప్పేసి కోరుకుంటున్నాను అధ్యక్ష. రెస్పెక్టెడ్ స్పీకర్ సార్, చివరిగా ముఖ్యంగా మా గౌరవనీయ చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారు ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ ముఖ్యమంత్రి వర్యుల యొక్క నాయకత్వంలో ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ రాష్ట్రం పరిపాలనా సామర్థ్యం మరియు సాంకేతిక దృష్టి మరియు సంస్కరణాత్మక పాలనలో నిరంతరం ముందంజలో నిలిచి ఉంది అధ్యక్ష. అలాగే ప్రధానమంత్రి నరేంద్ర మోడీ గారి యొక్క నాయకత్వంలోని కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం మరియు రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వాల మధ్య సమన్వయం ఉన్నప్పుడు డబుల్ ఇంజన్ సర్కార్ ప్రజలకు స్పష్టమైన ఫలితాలని అందిస్తుందని చెప్పేసి తెలియజేసుకుంటూ, నాకు ఈ అవకాశం ఇచ్చినటువంటి స్పీకర్ గారికి మరియు నా కర్నూలు పార్లమెంట్ ప్రజలందరి తరఫున ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేస్తూ నా ప్రసంగాన్ని ముగిస్తున్నాను అధ్యక్ష. నమస్కారం అధ్యక్ష.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, Sri Anil Desai ji.
Thank you, Deputy Chair, sir. Sir, Honorable Finance Minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Union Budget 26-27 in this House on auspicious day of Maghi Purnima. Lot of expectations were there from the Indian population, common people, and all alike. The total expenditure estimate of 53.47 lakh crore, that is 7.7% higher than revised estimates of 25-26 that was presented. In this, interest payments account for 26% of the total expenditure, and which is 40% of the revenue receipts. Whereas the total receipts other than borrowings are estimated to be 36.51 lakh crores, which is 7.2 higher than the revised estimates of 25-26. Revenue deficit in 26-27 is targeted at 1.5% of the GDP, which is the same like revised estimate of 25-26. It is unchanged. Fiscal deficit of 26-27 is targeted at 4.3% of the GDP, which is lower than the revised estimates of 4.4 of GDP of 25-26. So as far as debt is concerned, government aims to reduce its outstanding liabilities to around 50% of the GDP by 2031, that is in 5 years. In 26-27, outstanding liabilities are estimated to be around 55.6% of the GDP. This budget 26-27 emphasized the need for fiscal consolidation, targeting a reduction of debt to GDP ratio to 50% plus or minus 1% by year 2030, that is in 5 years, which is now 55.6% of the GDP. So fiscal consolidation is being pursued by cutting total expenditure by 5%, but no significant growth momentum is expected, with only 10.9% of the growth in capital expenditure in terms of GDP. There is no corresponding increase in capital expenditure. So there is marginal increase in union government revenue expenditure, which shows at 39.44 lakh from 25-26 revised estimate to 41.25 lakh crores in 26-27. That is a growth of around 4.5%. There is only a marginal increase in transfer towards centrally sponsored schemes, rising from 5.42 lakh crore in 25-26 to 5.49 lakh crore in 26-27. That is just an increase of 1.28%. So it is to be noted that Finance Commission grants have declined from 1.32 lakh crore in 25-26 budget estimates to 1.29 lakh crore in 26-27 budget estimates. So as far as revenue receipts are concerned, only marginal increase is there in revenue receipts from 34.30 lakh crore in 25-26 to 35.33 lakh crores in 26-27. That is rise of around 2.90%. There is no estimate of GST compensation cess collection, and budget is silent about the future of GST compensation cess. I think I would request Honorable Finance Minister to shed some light on this aspect, because we would like to know how the compensation cess stands and what is the future course of it. The share of the states has fallen from 14.22 lakh crore in 25-26 to 14.22 lakh crore in 25-26 to 13.93 in 25-26 RA, which is decline of minus 2.07 for year 26-27. The estimated tax share to states in rupees 15.26 lakhs crore, which is only 7.3 higher than the previous year. Even after considering the 16th Finance Commission tax devolution, the centre's tax share to states amounts to 34.65 instead of, which is mandated, of 41%. 16th Finance Commission recommended states share in divisible pool at its present level of 41%. For horizontal devolution, there is a change in the criteria and weights from 15th Finance Commission. The major change is the criteria of inclusion of contribution to GDP, that is 10% weightage is given, and demographic performance by each state. With regard to revenue deficit grants, the 16th Finance Commission has not recommended that the same be granted to the states. When states fall of revenue deficit, they try to get revenue deficit from the something from the center to carry on with their projects like development or wherever it is needed. But this time around, Finance Commission has regretted, it has negatived the recommendation, which will put the stress on the states, because states are not able to generate any kind of significant revenue, as GST has already subsumed all taxes and there are hardly any avenues left for the center to generate a revenue of its kind. My state of Maharashtra contributes the maximum to the central exchequer. In recent years, we've seen, sir, that we've been contributing more than 5 lakh crore, 5 to 5.5 lakh crore to the central exchequer, but what we get in return is hardly around 3 lakh crore. Though Maharashtra CM Sri Fadnavis has said, and he has praised the entire budget, substantiating the facts that around 1 lakh crore will come to the state of Maharashtra, out of which 98,000 crores will be in the form of devolution or the tax returns what we'll be getting by it, and 12,000 crores for various projects which are there in Maharashtra, which have come up, that 26, 27 allocations have been made for different projects. Now, Maharashtra is expected to receive close to rupees 1 lakh, but the basic thing, if we go by the budget, whatever has been stated by the CM and whatever has been praised, I mean, the reality is far from what the picture exists on the ground. The projects which have been funded or projects which have been allocated, good amount of, as far as infrastructure is concerned or urban projects are urban development projects are concerned, the projects which have been there in the pipeline, projects which have been initiated and which are in progress, they have been exorbitantly cost escalation has taken place. The overvaluation is being done, and it is favoring the contractors, which comes from to the government, and it gives suspicion for a lie or for suspicion to raise our doubts as far as corruption is concerned in Maharashtra. So whatever projects which are there, Mumbai-Aurangabad high-speed rail, that is 6,103 crore has been provided for that corridor. Mumbai metro projects, 1,702 crore has been provided for that. Mumbai urban transport project, MUTP 3, 462 crores have been allocated. Now, green mobility projects in MMR region, that is Mumbai metropolitan region, 155 crores have been allocated. Intelligent transport system ITS on Samriddhi Mahamarga, that is 680 crores. Now these are, and Pune Metro Rail project, that is 517 crores. These projects which ought to have been completed by long, but it is not yet completed, that escalation is on, overvaluation is being done, and this non-completion is not only proving inconvenient to the people, but it comes as a hindrance in the progress of Maharashtra. And who is benefiting out of it? Only contractors are benefiting out of it, and that is in connivance with the government officials or the politicians who are there and the treasury benches of Maharashtra. So these are the things, I mean, not leveling the charges, but this is what is seen by the people, felt by the people, and people feel that progressive state like Maharashtra, why it is taken back seat. Now, sir, finance and economy is concerned, as far as this budget is concerned, high-level committee on banking for Vikasit Bharat is been proposed. Now, banking sector, that is the backbone of Indian economy. Now, this public sector, which had the strength, yesterday only or today only in the papers it has come, that State Bank of India has registered a 31,000 crore profit in the last quarter. So that is the strength and that is the capacity potential what our public sector banks, insurance or whatever public sector units are there. Instead of strengthening them, the government steps are going in the direction of weakening them. Why are we going for disinvestment? Why are we coming with the disinvestment plant? Every year we present a budget. Last year's, I think 75 to 80,000 crores were meant to be recovered in the revenue was to be received by way of disinvestment. But what has happened? Not even 40,000 crores came our way. And today, banks like IDBI, which is just, IDBI employees are worried that why it is being thought or why it is being put on the panel that it will be privatized. Private banks are not going for the people, they are not going for the employment, they are not going to help you. Now in the banks, instead of having where the potential is so large, when you have good profits, banks which were shouldering the responsibility of addressing the unemployment issue in the country, now they are not, because government has tied their hands. Whenever we talk to managements, they are saying we are not getting clearance from the finance ministry. So if this be the case, where would the people go? When we call that brain drain is happening day in, day out from India, where the youth would go if they are not finding, despite having good qualifications, they are not having any chances to get employment into banks or public sector, this thing where they would make their future. If that is so, they have no alternative but to leave the country. And this is a sad situation when we talk of creating employment. On one side, wherever employment opportunity, capacity is there, employment is not given. Even this is happening in case of insurance companies also. Insurance companies who were doubted that one day all three general insurance companies were to be made one, or they were to be by way of disinvestment, they were to be decided. But now that, their solvency ratio and everything which has come up with the employees' hard work, now the government's stance is, fortunately it has changed. But these are the things, which we need to look. Labor and employment, what has happened to the labor code? Labor code has given, enough of opportunity, or it is one lopsided labor code is being developed, which is benefiting the employers, and there is absolutely no say for the employee, no say for the labor. Today, what is the situation? When we have started saying that gig economy, why it has come in this gig economy, people who are working, those poor who are working there, they are slogging day in, day out, all 24/7. Who are they? They are engineers, they are chartered accountants, they are lawyers. They are not getting that kind of employment. Self-profession is easy to say that you can give jobs to others. You have the capacity to give jobs to others, but when the question comes of sustenance, the job is required for the people who have gained some kind of qualification, which is not so. Where policy is going wrong, government needs to think over this and really think for the youth of the people. Now skill training, many things are coming up, but where the things are going. So 2 minutes. Education, the government with the new national education, new education policy, it has a lot of flaws. What about the teachers? What about the students? There is a wide gap between urban and rural teaching, rural institutions, where you don't get teachers, and teachers also are facing that problem is not yet addressed. That TET, Teachers Education Eligibility Test, those who joined as a teacher long back when this law wasn't there, even they are made to appear for that TET, Teachers Education Test. So this flaw should be removed so that a society is built, because teachers we look up to, that they educate the society. So as far as health is concerned, whatever provisions and allocations are there, they're not up to 2.5% as declared by the government, not provision of 2.5% to the GDP. Now, what is the situation in the state, my state of Maharashtra? If you see the plight of the government hospitals, no one would dare to go, no doctors, there is no medicine, patients are lying there are no beds for patients to accommodate on the beds, they are lying on the corridors. And this kind of things which is happening not only in rural areas in the city like Mumbai also.
Now please try to conclude.
One. And agriculture, we are giving a 10,000 crore credit line. Everything is spelled out. Everything is there on the paper. But what is the reality? The suicides which are becoming suicides has become a pattern. By the day, numbers are increasing in the state of Maharashtra. What is happening? Why it is happening? Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, really is it working? It is on the paper. Why? When a farmer is paid a claim of ₹3 and 6, you can imagine how that working is, what the formula is, who is formulated that, and what is the agencies doing, what are the people doing. And a poor farmer his dreams are finished. He has nothing to look up to. And they are finishing their lives because there is nothing, no tomorrow for them. So last but not the least, the main is Manrega. Now it is renamed as VBG Ramji. But what is the basic character of this scheme itself is changed. Now it is the government, if needed, the central government was funding 90% of it, 100% of it. But now if it is needed by the state would request the guarantee of days. We've shown that it is 108, it is extended from 100 to 125 days. What is the use of it? You have changed the character, killing the Manrega, killing the poor labor in the country.
Yes,
and
thank you.
To conclude, I'm just concluding, I would say that when we think that robots and AIs will be the future of tomorrow, Viksit Bharat, but see, government should ensure that people who are living human beings in India, they are taken care of before the AIs rule over. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, Sri Akhilesh Committee. Please. Akhilesh Committee.
मुझे वर्ष 2026-27 के आम बजट पर चर्चा में भाग लेने का अवसर दिया, इसके लिए आपका आभार प्रकट करता हूं। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी एवं बिहार के लोकप्रिय मुख्यमंत्री श्री नीतीश कुमार जी को हार्दिक बधाई एवं धन्यवाद देता हूं कि उनकी अगुवाई में एनडीए ने बिहार विधानसभा चुनाव 2025 में ऐतिहासिक विजय प्राप्त कर प्रचंड बहुमत से सरकार बनाने का काम किया। महोदय, समावेशी विकास का यह आम बजट वाकई में राष्ट्रहित और जनहित के लिए अमृत एवं संजीवनी के रूप में कार्य करेगी। महोदय, भारत के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के दूरदर्शी एवं प्रगतिशील आर्थिक नीतियां एवं योजनाओं जो समाज के अंतिम व्यक्ति के साथ सभी वर्गों को समानांतर एवं सार्थक लाभान्वित करती है। इसके लिए मैं आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का एवं माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी का हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। महोदय, यह बजट भारत के किसानों, युवाओं एवं महिलाओं तथा सभी वर्गों के उत्थान तथा विकास के लिए है, किंतु हमारे साथी को यह सब दिखाई नहीं पड़ता है। न जाने उन्हें यह क्यों नहीं दिखाई पड़ता है, उनके चश्मे में इस तरह दिखाई क्यों नहीं पड़ रहा है। महोदय, रोजगार, कौशल प्रशिक्षण और अन्य अवसरों की सुविधा उपलब्ध कराने के लिए माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की योजनाएं जो विकसित भारत बनाने में एक महत्वपूर्ण कदम है। महोदय, प्रधानमंत्री जी ने किसान भाइयों के लिए कृषि में उत्पादकता और अनुकूलनीयता को प्राथमिकता देते हुए परिवर्तनकारी राष्ट्रीय सहकारिता नीति जैसी योजनाओं को कार्यान्वित किया है। महोदय, प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भारत के युवाओं के भविष्य को उज्जवल बनाने के लिए रोजगार और प्रशिक्षण को प्राथमिकता देते हुए रोजगार पाने वाले विनिर्माण क्षेत्र में रोजगार सृजन एवं नियोक्ताओं की सहायता जैसी योजनाएं शामिल किया है। महोदय, भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था की विकास यात्रा को विकसित भारत के लक्ष्य प्राप्त करने के लिए समावेशिता के मार्गदर्शन प्रेरणा से ईंधन के रूप में हमारे सुधार का उपयोग कर कृषि, एमएसए, एमबी, निवेश और निर्यात जैसी 4 शक्तियां इंजन गति प्रदान कर रही है। यह बजट कृषि क्षेत्र समावेशी, संतुलित, उच्चतर समृद्धि और उत्पादकता की ओर अग्रसर है। युवाओं का सशक्तिकरण हमारी समृद्धि युवाओं को पर्याप्त रूप से साधन संपन्न करने और सशक्त बनाने पर निर्भर करती है। एनडीए की सरकार ने विकास के प्रति मानवोचित और समावेशी दृष्टिकोण अपनाया, जो पिछले 11 वर्षों में इन विकास कार्यक्रमों ने रिकॉर्ड समय में सभी के लिए आवास, हर घर जल, सभी के लिए बिजली, सभी के लिए रसोई गैस, सभी के लिए बैंक खाते और वित्तीय सेवाओं के माध्यम से प्रत्येक परिवार और व्यक्ति के लिए सेवाएं सुलभ कराई है। वहीं करोड़ लोगों को मुफ्त राशन उपलब्ध कराकर गरीबी की चिंता समाप्त कर दी है और रोजगार का सृजन हुआ है। साथ ही सरकार सर्वांगीण, सर्वस्पर्शी और सर्वसमावेशी विकास के दृष्टिकोण से कार्य कर रही है। इसमें सभी जातियों और सभी स्तरों के लोग शामिल हैं। हम 2047 तक भारत को विकसित भारत बनाने के लिए कार्य कर रहे हैं। इस लक्ष्य को प्राप्त करने के लिए हमें लोगों की क्षमता में वृद्धि करनी होगी और उन्हें सशक्त बनाना होगा। गरीब महिलाएं युवा और अन्नदाता, उनकी आवश्यकताएं, उनकी आकांक्षाएं और उनका कल्याण हमारी सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है। देश की प्रगति होती है जब वे प्रगति करते हैं। महोदय, मैं अपने संसदीय क्षेत्र सुपौल सहित बिहार के सभी किसान भाइयों के हित से संबंधित मुख्य अति आवश्यक मांगों के लिए आग्रह करता हूं। वर्ष 2008 के प्रलयकारी बाढ़ की तबाही के बाद कोसी क्षेत्र के किसान भाइयों ने बहुत ही कष्ट सहन कर मखाना के साथ मक्का एवं जूट की खेती करना शुरू किया। मैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि आपके द्वारा मखान बोर्ड की स्थापना की गई है। महोदय, मेरे संसदीय क्षेत्र सुपौल के साथ बिहार के सीमावर्ती कोसी एवं मिथिला क्षेत्र में देश के कोने कोने से मखाना के साथ मक्का एवं जूट की खरीदारी हेतु व्यापारियों का आना जाना लगा रहता है, जिसके लिए बड़े स्तर पर व्यापार केंद्र अति आवश्यक एवं अपेक्षित है, जिसमें चौड़ी सड़क, रेलवे का कंटेनर डिपो, देश के सभी महानगरों के साथ रेल कनेक्टिविटी, भारी वाहन पार्किंग, उच्च क्षमता का भंडार, कोल्ड स्टोरेज, राष्ट्रीयकृत बैंक, भोजनालय, शौचालय के साथ अतिथि गृह का निर्माण हो, जिससे किसानों एवं व्यापारियों के लिए मूलभूत सुविधाएं प्राप्त हो सके। महोदय, मेरे संसदीय क्षेत्र सुपौल एवं बिहार के कोसी मिथिला वासियों के लिए एक केंद्रीय कृषि अनुसंधान महाविद्यालय की स्थापना जनहित में अत्यंत ही आवश्यक एवं उपेक्षित है, जिसमें कृषि एवं किसान कल्याण संबंधी सभी विषयों का पठन पाठन हो सके। आग्रह है कि मेरे संसदीय क्षेत्र सुपौल में केंद्रीय कृषि अनुसंधान महाविद्यालय की स्थापना की जाए। रेलवे बनी बिहार के विकास की धुरी है। 2019 से 2014 रेलवे बजट में औसतम 1132 करोड़ बजट था, जबकि 2026-27 में रेलवे बजट बढ़कर 10,370 करोड़ हुआ। बढ़ा हुआ बजट सीधे सीधे परियोजनाओं, रोजगार और बेहतर सेवाओं में तब्दील होता दिख रहा है, जिसका सीधे लाभ बिहार को मिल रहा है। महोदय, अपने संसदीय क्षेत्र सुपौल में रेलवे संबंधी मुख्य अति आवश्यक समस्याओं का समाधान के लिए माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी एवं माननीय रेल मंत्री से आग्रह करता हूं कि पूर्व मध्य रेलवे अंतर्गत सीतामढ़ी जयनगर भाया निर्मली तथा ललितग्राम वीरपुर नई रेल लाइन परियोजना का शिलान्यास कर यथाशीघ्र निर्माण कार्य शुभारंभ कर तथा रेल परिचालन करने की कृपा की जाए। गाड़ी संख्या 15949 और 15950 डिब्रूगढ़ गोमती नगर अमृत भारत एक्सप्रेस का परिचालन गलगलिया अररिया रेलखंड होकर फारबिसगंज सरायगढ़ दरभंगा के रास्ते करने की कृपा की जाए। डिब्रूगढ़ से नई दिल्ली भाया कटिहार, बरौनी एवं भाया कटिहार हाजीपुर होकर 3 राजधानी ट्रेन का परिचालन किया जाता है। उन तीनों में से किसी एक राजधानी ट्रेन को नवनिर्मित गलगलिया अररिया रेलखंड होते हुए फारबिसगंज, राघोपुर तथा दरभंगा के रूट से परिचालन करने की कृपा की जाए, जिससे बंगाल, बिहार तथा उत्तर प्रदेश के सीमावर्ती क्षेत्रों की जनता को इसका लाभ मिल सके तथा समय एवं दूरी भी कम होगी। छात्रों, युवाओं, किसानों, व्यापारियों तथा शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य, बाजार, कोर्ट कचहरी की सुविधा के लिए पूर्व मध्य रेलवे के त्रिवेणी अंश से पटना भाया सरायगढ़ दरभंगा होते एक मेल एक्सप्रेस ट्रेन का परिचालन रात्रि में दोनों तरफ से किया जाए। साथ ही सुपौल से सियालदह कलकत्ता के लिए एक नई ट्रेन चलाई जाए, जिसे क्षेत्र के व्यापारियों तथा उस क्षेत्र के सीमावर्ती क्षेत्र के जनता को इसका लाभ मिल सके। बिहार राज्य के सुपौल जिला अंतर्गत NH 387 सुपौल से बरिया मंच होते हुए भाया मरौना एवं मधेपुर होते हुए दरभंगा तक सड़क एवं उप सड़क के मध्य कोसी नदी में पुल का निर्माण करने की कृपा की जाए। अध्यक्ष महोदय, विकसित भारत के निर्माण के लिए देश के गरीब, युवा, नारी शक्ति और किसान सशक्त होंगे। सरकार इसके प्रति वचनबद्ध है। इन्हीं शुभकामनाओं के साथ मैं 2026-27 के आम बजट का समर्थन करते हुए बिहार के समस्त जनता एवं जनता दल यूनाइटेड की तरफ से धन्यवाद एवं आभार प्रकट करता हूं। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद। श्री बजरंग सोनेवानी जी।
मुझे आपने बोलने का मौका दे दिया। मैं एनसीपी शरद पवार पार्टी से हूं। आदरणीय शरद पवार साहब से कृपा से मैं ये सभागृह में हूँ। मुझे बहुत खेदजनक बात ये बजट पे बात करते टाइम पे बोलना है कि महाराष्ट्र के वित्त मंत्री जो डेप्यूटी सीएम थे उनका निधन 14 दिन पहले हो गया। इस सभागृह में सदस्य थे, पहले मैं उनको भावपूर्ण श्रद्धांजलि अर्पण करता हूँ। और माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, मैं सन 2026-27 या अर्थसंकल्पावर बोलण्याची संधी दिल्याबद्दल आपले मनपूर्वक आभारी आहे। महोदय, यावेळच्या अर्थसंकल्पामध्ये सरकारचा कोणता स्पष्ट दृष्टिकोन, ठोस धोरण किंवा देशवासियांसाठी काहीतरी करण्याची ठाम इच्छाशक्ती दिसून येत नाही। हा अर्थसंकल्प घाईघाईत कोणताही सखोल विचार न करता जमिनीवरील वास्तव्यानं समजून तयार करण्यात आलेला नाही। नेहमीप्रमाणे यालाही अर्थसंकल्प न म्हणता सरकारचा आणखी एक जुमला बजेट म्हणणे अधिक योग्य होईल। महोदय, मी या सभागृहापूर्वी काही महत्त्वाचे मुद्दे मांडू इच्छितो। मागील अर्थसंकल्पात मांडलेले मुद्दे यावेळेस केवळ रंगरंगटी करून नव्या स्वरूपात पुन्हा सादर करण्यात आलेले आहेत। महोदय, माननीय अर्थमंत्री महोदयांनी सुधार एक्सप्रेस या संकल्पनेची मोठ्या गाजावाजात घोषणा केली आणि सरकारने 350हून अधिक सुधारणा केल्याचे सांगितले। मात्र 350 सुधारणा नेमक्या कोणत्या याचा तपशील देण्यात आलेला नाही। जीएसटी सोडल्यास कोणताही ठोस सुधारणा झाली हे स्पष्ट होत नाही। जीएसटी सारखा विषय गोरगरिबांना लुटण्याचा विषय जीएसटी मध्ये होतो। जीएसटी मध्ये बरेच काही बदल केले, हे बदल सुद्धा चुकीच्या पद्धतीने आहेत असं माझं मत आहे। महोदय, जीएसटी बाबत सांगायचे झाले तर हा कर घाईघाईत रात्री 12 वाजता घंटानाद करत लागू करण्यात आला। विरोधकांनी वारंवार सूचित केले ही सर्व संबंधित चर्चा करून विचारपूर्वक हा कर लागू करावा, पण सरकारने कोणतीही सूचना मान्य केली नाही। आज सरकार स्वतःच्या चुकीच्या निर्णयामुळे निर्णय झालेल्या अडचणी दुरुस्त करण्याचा प्रयत्न सुधार एक्सप्रेस या नावाखाली करत आहे। माझा सरकारला थेट प्रश्न आहे की तुमच्या चुकीच्या जीएसटी धोरणामुळे ज्या व्यापाऱ्यांचं, उद्योजकांचं आणि सामान्य नागरिकांचं नुकसान झालं त्या सर्व लोकांना सरकार नुकसान भरपाई देणार आहे का? महोदय, एमएसएमई क्षेत्रासाठी दरवर्षी आश्वासने दिली जातात, पण वास्तव्य असे आहे की काही सरकारच्या काळात लघु मध्यम उद्योग दिवसेंदिवस अडचणीत सापडत आहेत। अनेक छोट्या उद्योग बंद पडण्याच्या मार्गावर आहेत। त्यांना वाचवण्यासाठी सरकारकडे कोणते स्पष्ट धोरण नाही। सरकार याच्यासाठी कुठलेही पावले उचलत नाही, त्याच्यामुळे उद्योजक अडचणीत येत आहेत। आपल्या देशातील उद्योजक सक्षम आहेत, पण सरकारच्या चुकीच्या धोरणामुळे ते आज अडचणीत सापडलेले आहेत। उत्पादन क्षमता असूनही बाजार व्यवस्थेसाठी ठोस धोरण नसल्यामुळे देशाची उत्पादकता कमी होत आहे आणि परिणाम भारत हा फक्त एक मोठा उपभोक्ता देश होत आहे आणि याचा फायदा परदेशी देश घेत आहेत। हीच सरकारची नीती आणि नियत म्हणावी लागेल। माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, सरकारने बरेच काही धोरण राबवले। मागच्या काळामध्ये सरकारने या देशामध्ये साखर उद्योगासाठी इथेनॉल प्रोजेक्ट उभारण्यासाठी इंटरेस्ट सबमिशन स्कीम राबवली, आणली। इंटरेस्ट सबमिशन या